I've had this bike for about 6 months at this point, and I've been absolutely, completely loving it. However, there are a couple of things I want to make note of as happens along this 6-month journey. Now, along that journey, there's been some real big events, let's just say, that's happened that has given me mixed review on how I want to use this bike as my day-to-day drive. Whoa! But we'll talk about that more later on in this video. So we're out for a little bit of a whiz today, and there's a few things I want to mention about my 6-month journey with this bike, which we'll cover in today's video. So one thing that I always rave on about on this channel is living with your PEV. Now this is the one thing where an e-bike I've not thought about for a very long time is needed in my day-to-day arsenal. With an e-bike, it gives you a very nice comfortable seated position, and the seat on this thing is really, really nice. And with those larger AT tyres, those AT knobbly tyres, it's really good for cruising on grass, off-road, in the park. So there is no real limitations on where you can really go. What's nice about this bike is actually it's featuring an adjustable 2-point suspension system, and it's adjustable. There's about 5 different points of adjustability with the suspension on this wheel, so you can have a really nice firm ride for that tarmac riding, or if you want a nice softer ride for AT, you can soften that suspension so it's nice and easy when you are cruising for those off-road trails. And that segments nicely onto what I say about the versatility of an e-bike. With that knobbly AT tyres, that suspension system front and back, which is fully adjustable, it means that your rides are not limited to just tarmac riding only. With a full-size electric e-bike with a dual battery system, anywhere and nowhere is off limits. Now, being a content creator, one thing that's nice about an e-bike is it's almost like a portable table. You can simply stick your gear on your seat, get what you need to do at your bike, and you're ready to go. Now, this bike also comes with the option of a bag that you can tie to the body of your bike. Now today I'm doing a long ride. I've been out already for about 10-mile ride. I'm just under half charge on my first battery, and I've got a full-size battery underneath that I haven't actually turned on yet for further riding after that original one is depleted. But having a nice little table to sort your gear out is a content creator's dream, and having something you can rest your bag on when you're out and about is nice. Now, as you can see, this bike is obviously inspired by a classic moped style, and I'm loving that all-white body, and with that nice tan seat, which is really comfortable, it adds a lot of charm about the style of this bike. And to be honest, out of every bike I've ridden so far, this one does ooze style.
You are no match for my style.
Interesting factor about this bike is the throttle is built into the handle itself. It's not a thumb press. You really do have to rev it like a traditional motorbike. So it kind of bridges the gap between an e-bike and an e-moped. The difference is this one you can ride legally. What a beautiful day today, eh? Definitely what is needed. So we're actually going somewhere special today. I haven't been to in about 6 months, which is the local beach. Just nice to cruise on this thing, and I can't double down enough and say that the riding position on this bike is absolutely wonderful. The brakes on this bike are dual disc brakes, which means you have nice good control with the front and back brake at all times. Right, hit seafront. So prime example again of how good an e-bike is. Look how gorgeous that view is, and with an e-bike you have versatility of wherever you want to go, you can get there. We've gone from grass to tarmac over to sand. Now, another unique feature about this bike is its dual front headlights. Now they are super sexy in my opinion, and they illuminate all during the day. They kind of like have a halogen style to them, so they stay on during the day. So it's a nice little safety factor if you forget to turn on your lights. But what's nice about having a dual light system is that one of those lights can be facing straight forward to oncoming traffic, and the other one can be used to illuminate the ground that's in front of it. It gives you a lot of versatility on how you want to have your lighting set up. And this head-up display is so clear during this really sunny day today. At the moment it's saying kilometers, but I am still yet to use that second battery, and as you can see here, just under half charge. And I've done about 13 miles so far today on this bike from just one of these batteries. So in essence, this could be a 30 to 40 mile, and I'm not being kind, most of this is throttle only. I'm not being kind to this bike at all. But the range on this thing and the riding position, I just need to cruise really nicely. And it is good enough speed. I'm hitting 30, 35 miles an hour in it to keep up with traffic. Now I've got to talk about the benefit of having a bike over potentially like a board that obviously has mostly been on the channel. With an e-board, you've always got that look over your shoulder that some officer's going to pull you over and ruin your day. But with a bike, just cruise on. It's almost expected in today's society that an e-bike is part of the ecosystem. So it's nice to be out on a bike, not looking over my shoulder every 5 seconds, worrying that I'm going to get pulled over and get ticketed for being on an e-board, which is ridiculous, by the way. With an e-bike, it's just me cruising down the seafront, enjoying the sun. Now, the gearing on this bike is featuring a 7-gear system, which is kind of standard on most e-bikes today. But the benefit of an e-bike is because you have that electric motor to assist you, you mostly leave the gearing in the highest and basically just leave it. Because the throttle pulls me away initially, as soon as I'm at that higher speed, I can pedal, get myself up to those higher speeds, and cruising speeds a lot easier. And I think this is where this bike sits. It is a city and almost like a daily driver cruiser more than anything. This is actually less powerful than the previous Engwe folding bike that we featured on the channel. Now the motor that is paired with this bike is 1,000 watts of power. Now with the restrictions, it is restricted to 15.5 miles an hour to make it legal within the UK. But there are a combination of the buttons that you can do to unlock that bike's full power. Now in full power mode, it isn't super aggressive. It is really quite comfortable. It doesn't yank you off the line, but it's also enough power to keep up with modern traffic, which is what you need for a safety perspective nowadays. So as I said, there were some issues I had with this bike when I first got it. I actually got it over the winter season, and I was going out on my bike and I had a similar issue to this.
Whoa! Oh, Jesus Christ!
Thank you so much, bro, for letting me use your footage on that. So I was actually out on my e-bike and I actually broke traction with those knobbly tires. So one thing you do sacrifice between a slick and a knobbly tire is you do have less contact patch, which is prone for the wheel traction to break. So with a slick tire, it's more roadworthy. So it would be nice if Engwe had the option between a knobbly tire and a slick tire, which would make all the difference, especially riding in winter. Because when that bike went out, it took me a bit of time to get the confidence to go back on that bike. So it's one thing I wish Engwe would insist to have on future e-bikes, a slick and a knobbly tire. So as a customer, you can decide what is right for you. Now this bike is paired with two 48 volt 13 amp hour swappable batteries, which are advertising an average range 35 kilometers or 20 miles each. Now what's nice about this system is the adaptability and versatility. For example, with simple key twist, little tap, you can easily take that battery off and take it with you for charging. So if you go into a coffee shop, you can just simply tie up your bike outside with a chain and then simply take the battery with you. I knew I was going to need as much range as possible. Traditionally, I would have the included carry-on bag on top for my bike chain and a couple emergency tools when out and about. But for today, long distance riding, I've taken the 2 batteries. So far I've done about 14 miles. I'm about my last couple bars on this battery, knowing a backup is ready to go. So it gives you the confidence to ride your bike knowing that you're not going to run out of range, which makes a big smile and a big thumbs up from me. Now this bike is also available in 3 different colorways, a white, a green and in a black, which gives you the option to choose what style is appropriate for yourself. Those 2 batteries take 5 hours each to charge from 0 to 100 with the incorporated charger, which is far too long in my opinion. There needs to be the option for a fast charger from Engwe, and if there is, I'll put a link to that one in the description here. So in total we're looking 10 hours to charge these 2 batteries. Now I have had a full day of riding and I just switched between the 2 batteries, which was super simple. All it is flicking the switch, turning one off and then turning on the other one. Now you can have both on at the same time, which is a really nice feature to expand the entire range of the battery. But I always would say it's better to deplete one to max and then start on the next one, just in relation so you don't have to charge simultaneously each battery individually. You might get away with just using one for the day and you didn't need to use that extra charger. Now the overall weight of this bike is 35 kilos, so it is a big boy, but it's a full-size aluminum bike with dual batteries, suspension system and a really nice, robust, stylish design. A lot of e-bikes out there that kind of look samey, and as you can tell, this bike, it has its own unique style. So who is this bike for? I say it's for everyone. There's no kind of distinctive aggressive styles about it. It can sleekly work through modern day society without being too much attention, but in the white, you gotta say, it does look nice. And having that nice low seat, nice wide BMX style grip, it is a nice city cruiser. Now in summary of this bike, the Engwe M20 has completely revolutionised the way I interact with this city. Having a long range battery and a extremely, I can't double down enough, extremely comfortable riding position, oozing style, this bike has been an absolute joy to ride. The only thing I would say that needs to have the options for improvement is the options between a knobbly tyre or a slick tyre, depending on what your riding needs are. Now the retail price for this bike is 1,049 Great British pounds, but with my affiliate code it does bring that price down just a little bit and does help support the channel to make this bike even more affordable. And for me, with that price point, I would advise looking at the double battery option just to extend the range of the bike. In summary, the Engwe M20 is now turned out to be my almost favourite e-bike I've ever reviewed on the channel, and I use this thing daily. So there's a summary of the Engwe M20. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please drop a like and subscribe for more PEV content, because I've got some real big bangers coming up soon in the next 2-3 weeks, which I'm super excited about. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.